Hello. Today I'll be telling you what chromatography is. Chromatography is a technique used to separate mixtures and identify components based on polarity. Separations are accomplished by distributing a mixture of substances between two phases, two shapes, first stationary and second mobile. The various components of the mixture can then be identified based on how long they take to leave the chromatographic system. To begin, I'll show you how to spot a TLC plate. You'll be getting your pencil and measuring 1 centimeter from the bottom of the TLC plate, and you will draw a line. I then take my capillary put it into the dye, get some of the dye into the capillary, tiny dot on the line, making sure that the dot is not too big so that when you stick it into your solvent, it doesn't run into other dots' lines. I'll then stick the TLC plate into the solvent, which has a ratio of 15 to 2. After sticking the TLC plate in, I will cover it with saran wrap. I will then wait for the solvent to move up the TLC plate. Once the dots have stopped moving, I will remove the TLC plate, and then I'll be able to measure how far the dye has moved and record it into my lab.
Today I'll be showing you how to do a TCL plate. First you take your plate, you draw a line 1 centimeter from the bottom of the paper. Once done so, you take your unknown dye, use your capillary, draw it up, and place a not too big dot onto the TCL plate. Once done, you take it and you place it into your solvent, in this case a 1:1:1:1 ratio solvent. Once you place it into the beaker, you take some saran wrap and cover it.
Once you've gotten your TCL plate, 1 centimeter from the bottom, after you mark your line, you take your capillary, draw up your dye, and place your dye on the line, making sure that the dot is not too big nor too small. Once you've done that, you will place your TCL plate into your solvent. It is important that your beaker is big enough that your TCL plate doesn't bend. Once you place it in there, you will take your saran wrap and cover the top of your beaker. Towards the end, your TCL plate should look like this. Your solvent should be moving up, and you will want it to be at least 3/4 of the way up. As you can see, your dye is starting to separate. Once this is complete, you will take your measurements and you will put them into your lab manual. Once your solvent has completed its movement, you will take it out of your beaker and you will measure how much the solvent has moved up the TLC plate. When you take your measurements, be sure to measure from the 1 centimeter line to where the solvent has moved. We see that the solvent moved up 4 centimeters. Next, I will measure how much the dye has moved, again from the 1 centimeter line to the middle of the dye. The dye moved about 3 centimeters. When I record my data, I would put the amount the dye moved over the amount the solvent moved to get the retention factor.
Although it's kind of blurry, this is 3/4.